how I passed both theory and the driving test once. I prepared as if my life depended on it. I am not the type that read a lot. I can't start taking book or checking this and that and saying I'm learning. So what I did was, all my social media platforms, I was following people who give tips about driving, because I know that I can't sit down and say, oh, this is this, oh, this is that, no, that's not me. So everywhere I am on Twitter, and I know that I love social media a lot. So anywhere I am, if it is on TikTok, if it is on IG, if it is on YouTube, I'm always learning. I've followed all the people who are giving tips about driving, instructors and all that. Everything, I was following them, and every slide is about tips about driving, how to pass your driving test, how to do this, how to do that, the mistakes you should not make, this, that. So my head was already full. Like, I was really in my mind. If I close my eyes, I was driving. So I already know things that even I've not encounter on the road. So I was already prepared. So I did my theory test and I passed it once. Then immediately I passed my theory test, I went on and I booked my practical test, thinking that I would just go, I'll drive it. And as at that time, it was very easy to get closer dates. If you book now, I was using test shift. I was using test that time, and if you book now, in the next 2-3 days, you'll find a very closer date. So I was ready that if I go and I fail, I'll book another one. I will go next week, and if I fail again, rather than paying for instructor, my problem wasn't to pay. I wasn't having issue with like paying for instructors, but I ranked some of them and they were, the vibes were not really, and I've had people complaining about instructors and all that. And me personally, when it comes to learning, I prefer my own pace. And when I have teachers or instructors, their pace is not always, I want to study when I'm ready to study, not working with somebody else's time, So if my blood is boiling and I'm thinking, or I just study something, I just read something or I just watched something on YouTube and I want to practicalize it, am I going to call my instructor, hey, bro, here, this, that? No, I want to do it, practice it immediately on my street. Not that I wasn't driving, I was driving, but I've never really driven manual before. My dad had automatic, and that's what I was driving for so long. So I don't really know how to drive. So when I bought my car, somebody drove it home, and when the person dropped it, immediately I went on YouTube and I learned. I started watching YouTube how to drive manual car. And on my street, luckily for me, that day nobody was in front of, no vehicle was in front of me or at my back. So I learned it, like how to drive manual. I drove it forward, reverse, until I noticed that this thing is very smooth, and then I just drove the car to the filling station, and from there I came back home, and that was it. And the next day I drove it to my work, so it is like that. Because if I watch something, I can't start calling people, instructor, please, I've learned this thing. Or if I'm in a car, I will go by what the instructor wants to teach me. I can't say, no, I learned this, I want to do it. No, I won't have like the freedom of trying things out myself, and that would really limit my pace, So I didn't really bother myself, and I was just studying on social media, and immediately I finished my theory test. I booked my practical test, and I was looking for closer dates. I got a closer date. Immediately I picked it, and then I went thinking that if I failed, then it's fine. And I went there. Though the first time I wasn't able to drive due to the fact that my vehicle had some warning lights. So the moment I started the car, like tried to move forward, the instructor saw it and he was like, turn off the engine. I turned off the engine. He asked me to turn it back on. I turned it back on. The one light was still there. I had check engine and the brake. And what happened to the brake was I changed the brake pad, the front brake pad of the vehicle myself. And then when I changed one side, the sensor was not there. The brake sensor was not there. So I thought the car didn't have the sensor. So I caught the sensor on the brake pad, that I bought. I fixed the right side. I went to the second side, and then I saw the sensor on the second side. So because I've cut the wires out, I wasn't able to connect it. So I just hung the wire, the sensor, in one corner of the tire. So when I finally tried to fix it, I bought another brake pad, and I opened that, and I saw that the sensor was gone, you know. So there was nothing I could do about it. I found a way to, like, because I know it's not brake, I didn't have any issue with the brake, but because the instructor, that's what the examiner, that's what they were told to do. So I couldn't, you know, move on with that. So I had to, like, go prepare myself, fix the car, you know, myself, so to make the car ready for driving. So, and I went again, and I did it once, and that was it, you know. And another thing that I did was, I just imagined that the examiner is not an examiner and is not there to fail me, and I imagine it's just somebody that I wanted to give a lift. So I did not even care that it was there, you know. I was just interacting with him as if I was the one giving him lift. So that's how I did it, and I didn't care if I passed or failed. So, and I did it, and I passed, and that was it. So, summary of the whole Watawoto, what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to pass, don't deceive yourself. If you are lying to yourself, you know. If you are telling yourself the truth, you know. If you are deceiving yourself, thinking to yourself or saying to yourself, I'm preparing, you know if you're actually preparing. So prepare as if your life depends on it, because once you pass it, that is it, you own it, and all the things you've learned at the course of, you know, preparing for the exam, that's what you keep using, and you understand it better. Trust me, when you really study, when you really learn this thing, you really understand it. You know a lot of things that they are almost though there is nothing insignificant about traffic, you know, but there are some things that people don't even know. Some instructors don't even know it, and you know it just because you've studied yourself. You've studied based on your own, you've studied at your own pace, so you really know a lot of things. So with road markings, with signs, I was not having issue with that. And with handling it was my car, so I know how to drive my car very well. I understand my car. I know things that, you know, just anybody driving my car would not know, because it was my car. So that really helped a lot as well. So now that's how I did it, and I passed, you know. I passed. I drove myself home, you know. So just don't deceive yourself. Really prepare. If you really prepare, you know, every single minute, every single second of your life preparing for that should be learning about it. You know, if you switch on your phone, you know, you go to social media, you should be learning inside that social media. If you go to IG, you should be learning inside the IG. If you go to Facebook, you should be learning inside Facebook. It's not just about instructor alone, you know, because instructor cannot cover the whole syllabus. It's not possible, because you don't have 3 years to prepare. You don't have 4 years to prepare. Some people have just 2-3 weeks. Some people have 2-3 months to prepare. So you have to really study yourself. You know, if you think about something in your head, if you're on the road and you see something, go check it. Go check it. Go to YouTube. Go to Google. Type it there. Why is this thing like this? Why is what does double yellow lines means? What does the dotted lines means? What is this? What is this? What is hazard line on the middle of the road? All those things you have to ask them yourself. Make the research, study them, understand them. So when you see them on the road, you know, oh, this is this, oh, this is that. So that is the best way to actually prepare yourself for driving. So enough of Fatawoto. So just go out there and go pass your test, because it's easy to pass. If you actually prepare and you want to pass, you definitely pass it. So go out there and go pass your test. Bye now.